How do you feel like you've grown, like in terms of your mentality from in high school to right now?
To be honest, high school was, I guess, high school was like a big factor playing because freshman year, made the freshman team, scored goals, I did really well. I was happy about it, coming into sophomore year, it was just all grinded. Didn't really have that much playing experience with like clubs or anything,
Yeah.
but it was just a passion, and that's what drove me into the varsity team. I remember the first practices, I worked my butt off, and remember our first game versus Taft in Vernon Hills. I got the starting spot just because coach said I worked my ass off, even though I was a sophomore and the little one. Worked my ass off, and I remember scoring my first goal as well. With that, just I was overwhelmed. I had a great season with Fellman. Taught me a lot. Upperclassmen taught me a lot as well. One thing was mentality-wise, just being benched and subbed off was one of those key factors that like really dropped me down. But it built me up as a player. Built me up, having more confidence, starting to realize that I had to be more consistent with my work, and I've grown a lot. I look back at it and I was like, when I see myself right now, I see myself as a just more higher developed player than I was back then. I wish I would have learned the things earlier that are just knowing the basics and the fundamentals, which are very key points and aspects in playing high division soccer. What keeps me going, dude, is, to be honest, it's why I started. I remember just playing soccer in the streets with my friends and my neighbors, and then it just started something I had a passion for. Didn't make my 7th grade middle school team, and that broke my heart. Cried, but that drove me. It drove me to work hard. Next year, 8th grade, made the team, and from there, my soccer has been really a life experience for me. It's taking me to Europe to play, Mexico to play, different states. Soccer just brought me a whole different life, and to be honest, the whole experience I've gone through and lived, I would never have expected to just come out from playing soccer. And to be honest, I keep pursuing and keep striving for it because I know that it's all about willpower. People might be talented, but at the end, we're all human beings. It's how hard you work. It's, dedication and grind. So it makes you the best player. It's just not talent, because when talent isn't working, hard work is always gonna beat them.
100%.
And I see older players at tryouts, 26 and 27. They're still pursuing their dreams, and for me, it's like these guys just don't give up. And to me, I look at it sometimes as, I'm still not making a team, and then it breaks my heart. But seeing them still strive for it, for their dreams, it's kind of a big, like, just, it gives me more faith in myself. It just shows, like, you should never quit your dreams within the first couple of years or anything. Your time will come, but as well, it all depends on how much work and dedication you put into it.
100%, dude. And last one, homie. Do you consider yourself pretty religious?
Yeah, my mom is a really religious woman. She believes in faith in God and everything. And with that being, it brought me a lot of sense in soccer as well. Always having faith. Like that's one big part, is having faith, but as well as, like, putting that work. Because once you put in that work, faith will rely in, like, having you being scouted, having you get to that perfect trial where that coach to see you. Because, sometimes you can't be the best player at the trial, but maybe that coach isn't looking for a center mid that did amazingly. Maybe he's looking for a left back or a striker, and that's a big part. Everyone thinks that, like, I did good and everything, and they don't get picked. But, like, sometimes it's just not your choice. Sometimes it's the coaches, what they're looking for. To be honest, that's a big thing. But with faith, dude, I always pray. I always thank God that, because people take for granted their lives and what we have. We have our legs and our feet. Some people are not born with one leg or an arm. They might be, they might not have that faith. And for me, sometimes it just strives me do it for the people that can't do it for themselves.
Yeah.
That's one big thing, you know, we take a lot for granted, but, you know, I'm just happy to be alive every single morning, you know, and it gives me, like, God gave me another day to keep pursuing my dreams, and that's what keeps me going.
God bless, dude. Beautiful.
Finish it off, finish off,